that do not qualify to stand here and give people lectures. I am a Muslim person that I'm scared about my religion. I'm scared about my religion. That I'm scared. I'm scared that I don't want no one that's not qualified. I only want Muslim people that studies Islam and give right answers. Because I don't care. I'm Muslim. I don't talk about. I don't want to say where I'm from because I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm a Muslim person just like anyone else. I want qualified people that studies Islam to stand here and talk.
I'm old enough to your grandfather.
Because I want right answers. Not just standing here and saying because I'm a Muslim. This is not an answer.
Hey, man,
I'm talking to you. I didn't curse or say
are
anything.
you sick?
I'm not sick. I'm just speaking facts. I'm speaking facts.
He was here before you speaking, okay?
It's no an issue.
That's why in Sham,
I am Muslim is not an answer. There is a Quran and I want a verse from Islam because I know that you're right, but I need a verse to prove to people. Not standing here and saying I'm a Muslim is not an answer.
He needs evidence.
Yeah, we need evidence. I have evidence and I know my religion, but I need a person that knows his religion. I know everything because I'm a Muslim, but I want also these people to know how I know.
What type of Muslim
Because I studied from school.
Okay, you're speaking like a terrorist. That's not
This is going on in every single
This
lady here, she wants a question for you.
Why when the lawyers start talking about homosexuality, did you start talking about alcohol? Why when the lawyers started talking about homosexuality, did you start talking about alcohol and talking about?
Sorry, excuse me. Hey, you're speaking.
Why when the lawyers started talking about homosexuality, did you start talking about alcohol and then start talking about how much more bad it does than good? What bad does homosexuality bring?
What bad? Thank you very much. Okay, what bad? Brother, go back a bit. Okay, what bad? Let me tell you. The young lady, she asked me, excuse me, we are speaking. Go over there and speak.
Order over there. Let the
Hey,
platform speak.
why don't you go over there and speak? We are speaking.
It's actually
here.
dry under that tree.
Come on. Manners. Okay. Ask your question. You don't have no haya, no manners. We are speaking.
Okay.
You don't have
Spacios.
corner, you silly Billy.
This
You are asking to go to Jahannam. Behave yourself.
No. Spacio, no. Jannah, no.
Okay.
Spacio, this.
Is he from Sham or Iraq? No manners.
Salaam
No
alaikum.
akhlaq.
To the question.
Look at Lon.
Okay.
هذا خص تحضر القانون ديالو.
Look at me.
Okay, I answer you bit now. Let me. She's been there long time.
I also long time.
But she was here before you.
taller than you.
I'm already. Okay. Huh? Excuse me, are you a boy or a girl? Did you not know? No, he said she. Excuse me.
Who's caught up with his silly religion?
Excuse me, Allah.
Shut up,
Islam is the truth. Excuse me, quiet.
I will not be quiet.
Are you a boy or a girl?
I don't
I will. Why should
No. Did you say?
No, I said it's dry under that tree there. That's the next tree, it's dry.
Excuse me, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, look. He said you are she. He said you are he. Okay, tell me.
It doesn't matter.
I don't mind.
It really doesn't
Call me
matter.
either.
Okay, let me answer you. Okay, let me answer you. Look,
Have you male genitalia?
sir.
Why does it matter?
Can I ask?
Speaker's corner.
Excuse me.
That could be a really revolutionary thing.
You ask me
The answer to this question and then
Okay, right. Let me answer. Look,
I'm waiting for this.
Islam is beautiful.
Yes.
Islam is the truth. Islam is the right. According to Islam, a man will marry a woman.
But he can have 6 wives. Can he
You
have 6
are
wives?
lying.
Can
No,
he have 6
why?
wives?
No education there. 4 wives.
Can he have 6 wives?
No. quiet. Okay.
Don't be like
Okay,
that.
excuse
Who do
me.
you think you are? You're a little upshot. Who do you think you are, grabbing hold of me like that? You're not going to silence me. I haven't come here today to purr and behave like an effeminate homosexual. I'm a rampantly masculine homosexual and proud of it. That's what we're talking about.
Young man, in Islam, a Muslim man, cannot marry a man. In Islam, a woman, Muslim woman,
They can.
cannot.
No, you're out of order now. I'm not bloody putting up with you.
Quiet, people are telling you.
I'm asking
Well, I don't care what they're telling me. I'm not listening.
Go to the mental hospital.
that's a low blow.
This is the insults you get. This is the insults you
Okay,
get.
anyway, this is Speaker's Corner. It is more not Madman's Corner. So let's
It's the
answer.
biggest lunatic asylum in Britain. Did you know that?
Are you a lunatic then? We are not. I am
What's the
British.
matter with you
Oh,
today?
I am British. Well, I'm very stirred up.
Yeah, but what's the matter?
Well, I'm very stirred up, and it will continue. And if the rain stops, there'll be a crowd here, which I shall enjoy.
Why are you stirred up today?
Well, that's none of your business why I'm stirred up. Who the hell are you?
And a Muslim woman will
Calm it down.
He'll know why I'm stirred up.
No Muslim man can marry another man. Why? It is haram. Okay? But let me tell you, simple, look.
This is ridiculous. Listen.
Homosexuals, okay, leave him. He'll start.
Good comeback.
I've heard all this bullshit many times.
Excuse
You
me.
haven't heard the answer to the question
man and a woman,
that
what's
this,
he bloody well talking
that this
about?
person of sort of androgyny answered.
Look. In this country, homosexuality is legal. Lesbianism is legal.
I believe the question is
What is up to them?
I believe the question is what bad
why
comes out
alcohol
of
is
it.
bad.
Pardon?
Why is homosexuality?
I believe the question is what bad can come out of homosexuality.
Thank you very much.
I believe that was the question.
Okay, number one.
Yeah.
In many countries of the world, including in this beautiful country, in the United Kingdom, there are more women than men.
I know the other
Right.
questions come in here.
According to
Going
the
out to babies.
excuse me. According to the Christian Bible, the Christian Bible tells us one man, one wife. So the number of extra women, if one man, one wife, you'll still have more women. According to Islamic teachings, a man can have up to 4 wives. Okay?
You're not answering the question.
I am answering you. Why don't you?
It's not me you're meant to be answering.
Why you are speaking then? I'm answering.
Because you're not answering. You're
Well, I am.
just going off into parables.
Why are you speaking? I'm answering. Okay, manners. Okay. Sir, if man
My camera's against.
start marrying with man, what would happen? That will mean more extra women without husbands. Okay?
They can
So
have
it's
wives.
pardon?
They can have wives.
Who can have?
The women.
The women can have wives. You mean women can have wives? Oh,
Women
okay. Let me ask you, madam. Let me ask you. When a man marries a man, okay, we know who is the husband and who is the wife.
It's so ridiculous.
Husband and wife are just words dictating what gender you are. They do not dictate roles
Okay, can I ask
or
you?
positions in
Can I
relationships.
ask you a question? That's a good one. Can I ask you a question? When a woman marries another woman,
Who's the husband?
how do we know who is the husband, who is the
See
wife?
that coming, did you? I didn't see that coming at all.
A husband is a male part of a partnership. A wife is a female
Yeah,
part
and
of a
that's it.
partnership.
And they are just terms to describe the gender aspect of a relationship.
Excuse me, let her
Well,
answer.
that's all they are. They're a legal instrument.
Let her answer.
What is a husband
Well,
to you? What's a wife to you?
I'm asking you, when a woman, marries another woman, How do we know which one is the husband, which one is the wife?
Wife and another wife.
Would you be the husband or the wife if you were married?
I'd just be the partner.
Okay,
You wouldn't define. You
So there's no husband there. It's just both of their wives.
God bless you.
Excuse me.
I hope it all works out.
Young man.
I'm fine.
Don't end up
Young man. Okay. Right.
for any of these.
I'm not depressed. I know what my identity is.
Statistically, you will reach that stage in your life probably where you will be
I don't care if I
challenged.
saw
Yeah, and I'm being challenged right now by. So the reason for that isn't me. It's not people like you. You're being okay. But it's the people.
My goddaughter, she came out and she said
First
she was
learn
gay, and
English,
lots of gay
then you
friends.
start speaking.
I think the reality is, and nature itself, you don't need to be religious to even go into those things, but nature testifies that the law of nature is reproduction, male and
The law of
female.
nature is also man kill man.
And you are.
Why? Because why is it right if something's natural? Why does that make something
I'm
right?
looking at life and the transmission of life. Because if we were all homosexual on a desert island and we stuck to that rigidly, we were orthodox homosexuals, we would all die.
But it's an odd thing to say. Firstly, reproduction is a genetic imperative for a species. But individuals within a species, it's not. Sorry?
For life.
For life, but for the life of a species, for the survival of a species, it's a genetic, it's an imperative.
Everyone will be homosexual.
Yeah.
But that's not true.
Which is it's a ridiculous.
I think if somebody makes a choice, see, I had one of my best friends who was only about 12, and he revealed to me when he was about 14 that he was homosexual. Okay, and I asked him, when he realised, and obviously a thought had suggested itself into his mind, an erotic thought, let's say, and then he had a feeling about it, and then he became convinced that that's what he was. But I think as a society, to promote homosexuality as equivalent to heterosexuality has implications. I haven't said it's negative yet. Don't need to jump in. Has implications. Yeah, sure. Right. And I see these implications playing out now in society with a shrinking and aging population, because homosexuality has been promoted as equivalent. It's a lifestyle choice, and it should be free to do it. But when that reaches classroom level, let's say when 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds are encouraged to experiment. I mean, now we're in the realms of transgenderism.
Where does that happen?
Homosexuality. Well, you'll see in the materials, you'll see in the reading materials now that it's introduced at an earlier stage, where you're having children's books in primary school.
Population is a good thing.
I don't think it's
Surely a
encouraging.
shrinking population is a good thing.
Do I think a shrinking population is a good thing? Well, it seems that society doesn't, because the old people now are looking at the time in their life that probably euthanasia will be the only option, because they're wasting too much taxpayers' money to be looked after. So I think that large families are great.
I mean, ecologically speaking, a growing population can't be a good thing.
Well, it can be, as long as you don't think you can have everything in life. In an industrial scale, you're right. But if we harness our resources and we're generous with them and live a simple agrarian kind of thing, yeah, well, no, a bit like the Amish, like I think you can, if you rein in your expectations and your desires. You want everything and you want it now. There's absolutely no reason why you can't have lots more people on the planet. Well, who knows? But all I was saying is that obviously you're who you are, and you've arrived at where you are, and you've got your own path, and it's led you to this. And my path was like opposite. I've got 5 beautiful daughters, and I think that following, for me, I'm a Christian. Following God's plan, being open to life and accepting God's will in your life has proven, I suppose, to me. Because I used to be an alcoholic, I used to be all over the place, into drugs, I was a real mess. I used to go to all those gay clubs and all the rest of it, looking for lesbians like lots of blokes did, And I just hope that one day in your life, when maybe a real, let's say, in a real dark time in your life, that you'll reach out to somebody who loves you more than anything you you could imagine and be saved. And maybe this conversation we're having in the park, maybe that time when you have to make a decision, and I hope it won't be the dark decision.
It's strange how many people
is
only
the
seem to
dark
find Christianity after half a lifetime of excess.
Why can't I save myself?
Excess.
Of excess. I think it's natural.
Oh, this
To
is
be
a
honest
religious
with you.
conversation.
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Yeah, because those who don't find God in a time of crisis normally end up dead. That seems to be the thing. So
I'm going to end up dead anyway.
okay, what is God? I can't break down what God is to you and give you it into a
how could
package
you have your
thing
thought
like that.
if that's the
We're
case?
actually talking about homosexuality, and I'd like
It
to say on
ties,
the
in,
topic.
it ties into the topic
Not really.
perfectly.
Not
No,
really.
no, it does tie into the topic.
Well, I'm
How
going
can
to
you have your...
withdraw from it if you don't mind. I'd
No,
like
no,
to
it's
stick.
because you don't want to hold yourself accountable.
No, I
for your
want to
for your
continue the
words.
conversation this chance encounter has brought about with respect with this chap.
To be fair, we were.
Continue.
Thank you. No.
Sorry, I'm really cold.
Yeah, what do you think about now with the transgenderism? Because I know somewhere in London there's clinics that are giving hormone blockers to children at a younger and younger age who haven't even reached puberty, so they don't even know what sexuality is, and yet there are parents very often who've almost, gender neutral, bringing up children in a gender neutral way.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good thing?
What, being gender neutral?
No, to bring up your children in a gender neutral environment.
Yes, I think so.
Do you think that should be the norm? I'm not accusing you of
Yeah,
anything.
I think it should be normalised.
Yeah.
As in,
Obviously,
you
parents
said
have a choice.
encouragement of homosexuality in classrooms. I see it akin to the rights movement in America in the 60s, in that it was bringing knowledge of a repression that wasn't spoken openly about. Now we've had a black president in America, and we have a lot. It doesn't need to be pushed that way. The same with up until the 60s, it was illegal in this country to be homosexual. Now we can. Now it's my cousin, my little nephew. 13 years old. My brother's a Hell's Angel, his whole family, they're pretty rough. 13 years old, my little nephew Jack came out and said, I'm gay. And the whole family went, yeah, okay, cool.
I wonder what you think of this. Have you heard of Otherkin?
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
God.
No. See, now this is where you have your rigid fundamentalist thing. Otherkin, I'll just explain to the camera. Otherkin are where people actually convince themselves that they're wolves or tigers or lions, and they meet up with other people who think they're wolves, tigers, lions, and this is the advancement of the whole transhumanist agenda. Now, this is a fact. You can YouTube it. You can get it on there.
Try and tie this into transgender issues.
No, what I'm going to say is, would you feel that should be promoted as well?
No, because it's a
Not
completely different
promoted, but
species.
understood.
Well, understood. Yes, I would. From a psychological point of view, I would say that yes, I would promote the understanding of people that have those kind of delusional beliefs.
As an equivalent?
No, I don't see an equivalent
Now, this is the
because there's a
problem.
species barrier.
Sure, but this is now you've taken the stance that say most people would have been 20 years on homosexuality, and these humanists, these otherkins, they're feeling how maybe you were 5 years ago. You should watch the videos because they're speaking for themselves.
No, because
their parents are saying
no human being can know what it is to feel like a cat.
but they believe they're cat.
And
No,
also,
but that's
cat.
a delusion.
Well, how can a man feel he's
That's
a
a
woman?
delusion.
How can a man doesn't have a period? He
cat
doesn't have
is
menstrual PMT. He doesn't have the capacity to have children. But you're saying that a man can be a woman? But
So
a man can't be a
define
wolf.
gender
And now
by
are you now getting
No, I'm not
confused?
gender. I define sexuality
Right.
by
Are you
by,
getting
gender.
confused?
Sex. Okay. So
Are you
gender
getting
is a
confused
social
with-
Hang on, I don't know which one. I'm enjoying both of them.
Yeah,
Go on,
okay.
yeah.
So
Say your question again.
being a species is a biological thing that's determined by your genes, by your physical makeup.
So is
whatever.
male and female?
So you do define gender by gender.
No, sexuality.
Sexuality.
What is the difference between gender and sexuality? Maybe we should define that. Do you want to have a go or shall I?
Okay, sexuality is who you're attracted to. Gender is
No,
who you feel
sexuality is what you biologically were born as.
No, that's sex.
That's reproductive sex.
Okay,
yes.
yeah. No, your biological sex. I'll
Okay,
rephrase
biological
that.
sex,
Yeah. Biological sex versus gender.
Okay, biological sex is your genitals, that's your chromosomes, what you're born as, whatever.
Sure.
Your gender is how you feel your identity, how you present,
how you present, yeah, that's the current format, yeah, how you present.
Yeah.
But can we go back to this, because this is interesting. You would say that it's acceptable to, let's say, claim that you are in actuality a woman or a girl or a female, and I should, out of respect for you, I should actually acknowledge who you are and not deny your existence and all those other, I would call them cliches, okay? But you would say that person couldn't decide to be a wolf, because that obviously is insane.
Because gender isn't biological.
But what about a man to think he's a woman? That's not delusional. This is where I don't
Gender is
understand where
biological.
you...
Cats, dogs, whatever, they're biological
Okay,
definitions.
I think we can reach an accommodation here.
Yeah.
So if I said to you, your your biological sex is male, but you are presenting your gender as a female, because I do. Right, you can deny it if you want. No, I don't. Absolutely, I don't.
I would say almost certainly.
Would that be...
apart from the fact that it doesn't matter, I would say that you are probably biologically female, but what you decide to be, what you feel inside that you are, is completely unimportant.
Yeah.
It's completely and utterly unimportant.
Well, it might be to a member of the opposite sex.
And the biology part of
who
it...
mistakes you for something that you're not until you choose to reveal
And the
your hand.
biology is only of interest if you present
Confusing.
at a hospital.
Confusing. Well, could you tell me?
Well, no, my gender. Because I'm not. I would tell people my biological sex if I was attracted to them.
Yeah.
But not if you weren't.
Yeah.
Because
Or if
don't
you had
see
to
it.
go to into hospital.
Could we get back to this?
Otherwise, there's no reason they would want to see
Can I
it.
just make sure I understand you correctly? What you're saying is that an otherkin who claims to be a wolf and has met another wolf, and they know they're wolves, and people are affirming to them consistently that they are wolves, and they present as wolves. They actually have little tails and they run around and things like that. And you say that's insane, and it's just so
Delusional.
obvious.
Well, I don't say it's insane.
She doesn't say he say that person. Okay. Doesn't say. I say it's delusional.
Okay. However, for someone to claim for a woman to claim they're a man, or for a man to claim they're a woman, that's not insane. You see that as a different camp. How so?
I've explained, because I believe that, obviously, they can't claim their biological sex.
Chromosomally, they are different.
They're what?
Chromosomally, they are different, male and female.
Right, okay. I said biological sex, you can't claim that biological sex is different.
It's only by one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you can't claim your biological sex is different than it is. I wouldn't do that. I don't believe in that.
Well,
Unless...
I think we're heading towards times in primary school where children will be coming and they'll be talking in wolf language and wearing tails.
No, you know that now you're just playing devil's advocate. You know that.
No, it will happen. It won't. It will happen. You said, I never thought, when I say this, I don't mean you. I never thought that young boys would be being put in girls' knickers and told to alternate between female and male.
Again, where are you getting that information?
I've seen it.
Where?
There's so many things. If you want to Google transgender children, and honestly,
I'm a scientist. I don't get my information.
Why are they girls' knickers?
There
Are
are
they just in the
children
women's
who are
section?
below puberty, who have no concept even what sexuality is, let alone gender, who are being groomed by their parents and the culture to experiment and cross-dress regularly and decide to opt in and to opt out of male and female regularly. That will end in, on a psychiatric level, that will end up with serious
do you believe then that gender dressing is appropriate? That little girls should wear pink and little boys should have toy guns?
No.
Then what's the problem with encouraging children to dress in whatever things, whatever colour, whatever style? What's the problem with that?
That was all that was, but
no, it didn't. No, I'm asking that question.
No, I agree with you.
I'm
agreeing with you, but I'm adding to it. What actually happens is they opt in and out of male and female names, male and female attitudes.
What's the problem?
So you don't think a 5-year-old boy who was encouraged, he doesn't know what sexuality is, who's encouraged, I don't think this concept came into his mind from nowhere. Would you know, it's not
but again, are you getting so he's encouraged to maybe wear clothes from a cross-dress
and to act and to change his name and to call himself.
And do any of those things have any bearing on that person's sexuality? Because that's ingrained in how people are.
No, it's a biological fact.
No, again, I thought we went through all that.
No, we didn't.
But the biological fact just does biological gender. The actual thing of who we are, who we identify as, is undefinable because it's part of our consciousness, it's part of our how we exist, who we are, how we see ourselves existentially. And that isn't, you can't nail that down to a chromosome or a gene or a limb.
They call it a thought experiment. If I said to you, right now, actually I'm a woman, right? And I would like you to call me a woman, right? And I'd like you to address me as a woman. I'd be a bit insulted if you didn't. And then you'd say, well, look, I think you're just having me on.
Well, I would say that because it's it would be clearly obvious in your demeanour.
But what I'm trying to say is, if we're living in a society
if you choose
now,
to do that,
if
I
we're
would
living in a
accept that.
society now, could I claim to be an 8-year-old woman? Why should I be bound by
age is also biological.
Yeah.
That's something
Are you sure?
Yes, you can't.
Well, I've seen lots of people who are really old, they look really young, and lots of young people who look really old.
not the specific number, but then, well, to be fair, it's the years we've been alive.
This is what I'm interested in. The science seems to be opting in and opting out. You can't be a wolf.
We've been
You can't
alive.
be this.
Come on.
Huh?
It's the years we've been alive.
Yeah, you can't change that.
You're like rings on a tree, yes. Yeah.
That cannot
I know,
be changed.
but if I present as an 8-year-old, I want you to call me an 8-year-old.
No, but again, that would
You could
be.
say you're acting like an 8-year-old.
I would say that is an underlying condition that you should look at. If you have the energy and you feel like an 8-year-old and you just love life and you go around asking questions, that's great. But if you say no, I am an 8-year-old, that talks of an underlying psychosis.